social media and on YouTube and everywhere pretty much if you had any questions for this Q&A, and man oh man, there are a lot of questions, and I don't think I can answer every single one because in known style I get quite rambly and I talk a lot, and just this intro is a pretty good example of that because get the intro done, human. Okay, so let's get started, and there might be some questions that are actually sort of repeating themselves. So by answering, let's say 10 questions or so, I can actually answer more questions. Just flying through the room. And yeah, okay, focus, goddammit. Yeah, let's just get started. So I thought we could start on Twitter, so let's just head over to the Twitter, the tweets. What? Stop that. Okay, so let's start with sort of this really big question on the internet right now. Can you stand pineapple on your pizzas? And I am so curious to know what people actually think of pineapple on their pizza, because I really don't have a problem with it. I like pineapple on pizza, and actually if I can choose, I would actually choose to have it on my pizza, even if it's not like an option. I could ask like, can I get extra pineapple? Because yeah, pineapple's nice. I don't know why people don't like pineapples, and they're like tomatoes, they get so hot in the oven, and I really like warm foods. Like I burn myself eating like almost every single day, and it's like when you want something heated, it's like this stage of being lukewarm, being very hot, being nuked, and being like, I want it. Yeah, so pineapple's nice because it gets so warm and it tastes sweet, and it's nice. I like it, and I've spent so long answering this so short question. My question is, do you celebrate Christmas in Norway or have any holiday traditions similar to Christmas? We celebrate Christmas in Norway, and after the sort of Christianity came to Norway in around the year 1100, and since then we started celebrating Christmas like Christmas, but before then we actually celebrated Yule, as in, that's what we call Christmas right now as well, it's Yule, but we celebrated actually the end of harvest season or so, and the celebration of the spring coming sort of closer and closer, because in the middle of the winter it can actually be quite rough here in Norway in terms of it being so dark. So as in the sort of older ages or so, it was I assume really nice to have this break from all this sort of darkness outside and the cold weather, and so to have a sort of party or so at Christmas. So when Christianity came to Norway, it sort of just sort of merged together with the original Yule that was here before. So the celebration has been here for quite some time, and now it's a more of a Christianity sort of celebration, even though pretty much anyone in Norway celebrates Christmas, even though they are not Christians or so. Yeah, we have some quite weird traditions here in terms of Christmas, and yeah, let's see if we can think of anyone on the top of our heads. The sort of luxurious foods we have on the 24th is lutefisk, which you probably might have heard as a really weird Norwegian sort of what in the world are you doing sort of food. It's sort of a really chemical fish, and I cannot understand why someone would ruin a celebration with actually having fish as the dish. what? But we in my family, we don't have that. We have actually lamb ribs as the sort of celebrational food, and it's so good. Oh my god. It sounds quite brutal actually to eat lamb ribs, but it's so nice. And there goes again the tradition, because we have a lot of sheep. It's sheep, right? Not sheeps. Sheep. We have a lot of sheep here in Norway. So in the winter we have this wool clothing because it gets cold as just so cold here in Norway. So we have wool clothes and we eat smala hova, which is 1/2 of the face of the sheep. And we eat everything on the sheep because in terms of traditional food getting, it's not that easy. It's like you get potato, you get what's it called? Havre. I'll translate it here. It's called this in English and it's called havre in Norwegian. You get potatoes, you get havre, and you have sheep. So you need to get the most out of those. And the ribs are actually quite easy to preserve for a longer period of time. So when the winter has come and the sheep are actually slaughtered, the ribs are sort of taken care of until Christmas. So there's the tradition of eating sheep's ribs on Christmas, and it's weird. And we actually open all the presents on the 24th, the evening of the 24th, not the 25th, but yeah, it's Norway, it's awesome, I love it. And I can talk more about Norwegian Christmas traditions as we sort of get closer to Christmas, because I can just ramble on about Christmas for so long, but we need to move on with this Q&A. I've talked for 8 minutes and I've only answered 2 questions. It's so bad. Okay, what's your opinion about the Beatles? The Beatles have actually a lot of great songs. I don't listen to it on a daily basis. Actually quite listen to it very little at all. But I know they have a lot of great songs, and I've heard pretty much every of their song. They have some cool songs in terms of the songwriting themselves, but the Beatles more impressed me in the sort of musical history aspect, I think, because their influence on the history of music and the development of music is just so crazy. It's like the 1960s version of Beliebers. It's like this wave of just fans being like crazy, and there's a tractor outside. Oh, I don't have time for tractors outside. I need to talk in peace because I talk so much that I can't deal with tractors right now. But yeah, I like the Beatles and they impress me with their talent in writing music, but they also really impress me in terms of the influence in a music history aspect. Other than playing guitar, what other hobbies do you enjoy? I really like, which probably a lot of you have seen on Twitter and on Instagram, I really like Fallout 4 and it's so much fun. Oh my god! I have had that game as my only game for about a year now. I got it for Christmas last year. And it's still so much fun, I can't believe it. I don't have any of the DLCs or any mods or anything. But still the game in itself is so big and I have so much fun with it. And the other day actually Preston stopped giving me missions, which is insane. I am not sure if I broke the game or if just all my settlements are just doing quite well. But he stopped giving me missions. What in the world? I need the missions. God. But yeah, I really enjoy Fallout 4 and also I really like baking cupcakes. Okay, so do you any other Schecter guitars besides your Sinister Special? Do I have or do I like? Because I have only this one. This is the only Schecter that I have. but I would really like another one, and I'm actually looking into getting a second Schecter, which is quite more easy to tune than this one, because this bad boy right here is quite difficult to retune and tune in standard tunings, whether that's standard in standard or standard like one step down or so. It just will not stay tuned. So I think that I will actually get a second Schecter, because I really like Schecters, and I have two guitars in mind that I have considered, like one of them, and yeah, I'm not sure which one yet, but yeah, I'll let you know when I've decided. Let's head over to the Instagram. Are you going to any concert in the next year? So I have seen Gojira posting like all over the place that they are playing, and I really want to see Gojira live in 2017. And I have seen Sevenfold is actually coming to Europe in 2017, so that might happen. And God, Aerosmith, they're having their Adunbee. That's not how you say it. Anyways, they're having their farewell tour, and I need to go see them. Oh my God, it's crazy. They're stopping. Oh, I said it in another Q&A. I need to see Aerosmith live before they stop. So yeah, probably if there's one concert happening next year, it's probably gonna be Aerosmith, because we need to grab that opportunity when we have it. So yeah. Also, Guns N' Roses actually might come to Europe. Might? Oh, not sure. But there are so many great bands you can go see, so yeah. If a kid asks you what metal is, what record would you give him? I would probably give him some really old school Metallica. I would probably give him Ride the Lightning, because I think that starting out when you are young to listen to the older metal is quite nice, because then you realize that there is so much incredible music that's older. It's not only the newer things that are actually quite in the light of day. I don't know. But I would probably give him Ride the Lightning, because I think it's a great record, and it's not this standard like, I would give him the Black Album by Metallica, or I would give him something Sevenfold for my sake. But I would probably give him Ride the Lightning. It's a really great record, and it's not like the Master of Puppets that Master of Puppets will get shoved in your face whether or not you want it. But Ride the Lightning is more of a held back sort of album, and I would probably say you need to listen to this. What do you prefer to play, solos or chorus, bridge, riff, and why? It's sort of a difficult question, because in terms of enjoy playing, it's easier to enjoy playing when you are playing the easier stuff, and the easier stuff are very often the riffs and such. But it's so fun to play solos and everything, so it's really difficult to sort of say that, oh, I really like playing this more than that, and it really depends on the song as well. For example, like in Goddamn, the solo part is actually quite, it's okay to play, but in the whole song, it's just really fun to play all the rhythm. In Creating God by Avenged Sevenfold, the rhythm part in the verse is just, it's just so much fun. I can barely focus when I play it, because it sounds so cool. And yeah, it's a really difficult question, because it depends on what you are playing, but in most cases I relax more when I play rhythm parts, but that does not necessarily mean that I like playing rhythm parts better. So yeah, it's two sides of the same face. What? How excited were you that Metallica shared your cover of Spit Out the Bone, and did you see how many views you had on their Instagram? I was shaking. I was like, I called my brother because he said, oh, you could probably use this hashtag and they would see it, and I like, ah, that's a good plan, but I'm not sure, I don't know, I can try. So they actually shared it because of the hashtag I used. So so when they did, I was like shaking when I called him, and I was like, do you know what just happened? He was like, no, I don't know. I was like, you said I should use the hashtag, right? He was like, yeah. And I said, well, they goddamn shared it. So he just, that's so cool. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. I was just shaking so bad. And you can see by the screenshot, and when I actually posted the screenshots, that I was just not able to function because I screenshotted it around 9 and I was just not able to post that they actually shared it before almost 10 in the evening because I was just like, ah, shit. So it was just so insane, and I saw how many views that it got. It was insane, it was crazy, and my Instagram just blew up, and oh my god, I was just so excited, and I still am. I'm just gonna live on that wave of happiness for so long. Oh my god. How tall are you? I am 175 centimeters. 175 meters. I don't know how you say it in English. But I am actually quite above average for Norwegian females. And the Norwegian females are above average on the world basis, I think. I think like Nordic people are actually quite tall in terms of the world, and I am a tall Norwegian people. So yeah, I am 175 tall. Yeah. I post like here what that is in weird terms, because I realized that not everyone is measuring in centimeters or meters when you are getting on people scales. But yeah, I'll post right now what that is. So yeah. Okay, this is asked so many times. How do you manage to learn new songs so fast? Please share your method. Thank you. I love all your works. Rock on. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, this is asked so insanely many times, and it might take some time for me to answer. So just get ready. When I learn a new song, I learn a new song every single week. And sometimes it's actually more than just one song, so you need to stay focused when you are learning the new songs. And the thing that I do is when I post a song on Sunday and I start learning the new one on Monday, the learning of the song on Monday is not the first time that I hear the song. It is actually chosen like a week before or so what song I'm going to play on the upcoming Metal Sundays, because when you are learning a new song, if you know how it goes in your head, it's so much easier to have reference points when you are actually practicing it, so that you can notice when things are wrong, you can know how fast it's supposed to go versus how fast you're actually able to, or how fast you are actually practicing it at the moment. And it's so important. It's probably the most important thing, I think, that you actually know how it goes. If someone suggests a song that I have never heard before for a Metal Sunday, that will not likely be the next Metal Sunday song. It will probably be like 2 weeks at least apart, because I need to get familiar with the song before I start learning it, because then it gets so much faster actually learning the song. And then I start framing it together, so I get the bigger pieces first. Which can often be an intro riff, which comes again in either a verse or a chorus or a bridge or something, especially in Metallica songs. And then you just sort of try to, when you listen to the song a lot, you get familiar with which parts are actually quite big in the song. So you know that if I learn the verse, I actually learn almost half of the song. So then you learn the verse first, and then you sort of build it up from there. And the solo is actually one of the first things that I try to practice, because even though it's pretty much the smallest part of the song, it's actually the most concentrated part of the song, in terms of guitar songs anyway. When I start the solo and the verse on Monday, I sort of, by Wednesday, I have the complete song in terms of verse and chorus and intro and every rhythm part, and I have started practicing the solo, so I'm familiar with either the start of the solo, problem parts of the solo, or the entire solo as lower BPM or so, as a slower rate by Wednesday. So by Wednesday I can start practicing the solo much more intensely because then I'm more familiar with the whole song in terms of me knowing from Monday to Wednesday everything, and then from Wednesday to Saturday I need to know everything like as perfect as I can get it, and sometimes I actually can't make it in a week. In terms of which song I'm picking. So in terms of me actually learning a song in 1 week, depending on what song it is, I actually might not be able to learn it in a week in terms of me studying full time and like doing other things. If I was just sitting down for 10 hours a day learning this one particular song, I would probably make it. But I need to keep in mind that I am going to do this every single week, so I need to have a schedule that actually is quite flexible in terms of me doing other things or other things coming in the way or so. So I have some songs that are sort of this Monday to Wednesday process of me learning the verse and the chorus and everything. I have some songs that I actually know pretty much the whole way through that I haven't covered yet, because I need something to fall back on if the solo is just way too beast mode, and I might actually have to do that this week because I picked a song which actually had me retune this guitar, which is quite a big deal, so I really hoped that I was able to make that song, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to play it. And I can tell that already now. It's Thursday, and I can tell it already now that this solo is just taking a lot of time. So in terms of learning songs really fast, it's easier to know the song quite well. That's number one. Know the song quite well, and by knowing the song quite well, you can actually start to pick the song apart and be aware of which parts that are actually quite big and quite important to the song, and you can pick the parts that are actually quite concentrated, which has a lot of notes in a short period of time, that only comes once in the song but needs, of course, a lot of practice because it's really concentrated. So my best tip is to listen to it a lot and pick it apart and choose the bigger parts and the concentrated parts at first, so that you learn a lot of the song and you get familiar with the concentrated part of the song quite early. And yeah, by then it's just a matter of being patient enough and being accepting enough to actually find it okay to be bad at playing the song and play it slowly. It's okay to play songs slowly when you are learning them. It's okay to play mistakes when you are learning them. It's okay to just not know the song before you actually know the song. So yeah. So those were quite few questions actually, because I can't film more than half an hour on my camera, and yeah, also it would get a really long video if I kept answering all the questions. But the questions that I have answered is actually really they have been asked so much, and yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for sending in your questions. I would probably... Okay, so let me know if you want me to make a sort of part 2 of this Q&A, because time just ran away from me in this one, God. So yeah, let me know if you want part 2 of this Q&A, and yeah, I'll talk to you on Sunday.